what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of #Stream Squad. If it's your first time watching, I am Jimmy.
I'm Angela.
I'm Dan, finally back. It's been
Yes, Dan.
Welcome back, Dan.
Apparently I messed up Facebook or something, right?
You're real.
My first time back.
Sorry we're starting a little bit late. We got kind of caught up in the manual starting versus scheduled issues, but that's okay. We're here now, and we're ready to go. We're so glad that all of you are here with us. We're here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. And right here on Facebook.com/Switcher Studio. So if you are watching this on a repeat, make sure you come check us out live on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. right here. But if you're here right now watching, hey, go ahead and share this video out to everybody that share it on your timeline. And please leave us some comments. We got Dan right over here. He's watching the comments. And we are going to be here answering you and saying hello to you. So please, let's start off. Just tell us where you're watching from. Let us know where you're at. We are right here in Louisville, Kentucky right now. And we're happy to be here with you. And you know what? Let's just do what we always do on the show, and let's get started off with some industry news.
So the first thing we want to talk to you guys about this week with industry news is where to get the best deals on new Apple products for Black Friday. So for anyone watching who's not in the United States, next Friday is the biggest, consumer shopping holiday in the United States of America. There's tons of deals going on everywhere. They're both in-store and online, and they're a great time to purchase electronics. You can normally get electronics for so much cheaper than their normal price point. So what we're going to do for you guys is go over some of the best deals that we have found for next week on Black Friday. For any of you guys watching internationally, a lot of you can still get these deals by going to the online website, so that way there's something for everyone. The first store that we want to go over is Target. So these are some figures we found on what Target has to offer. Some of these, things we're going to go over are kind of a money back situation for things you purchase, and some are immediate discounts, so do pay attention to that. If you go
to get a pen out for this.
We do. Everyone take some notes. Everyone take some notes.
You can also find all these things on the article I'm posting.
Yeah. If you purchase a brand new iPhone XS or XS Max, so these are two of the newest phones that just came out in September, you'll get a $250 Target gift card. So not only are you getting that brand new iPhone, but you're getting $250 to also spend on other things for Target. And as a normal gift card, it's going to last, probably a year or more. So no rush. You can use that whenever you want. Similarly, if you get the iPhone 8 Plus, or 10, which were last year's new models, you'll get a $150 gift card. For anyone wanting a new Apple Watch, the Apple Watch 3rd series, which is the one that came out in 2017, is available for $199 without the GPS. If you do want that data plan with the GPS capabilities, it'll be available for $299. So both of those are really great deals. For anyone wanting new iPads, the iPad Mini 4 and the iPad 6 Gen, so one of the newest iPads, those are both going to be available for $249. And for anyone needing some new headphones, the Beats wireless headphones are going to be $179 at Target. So they're not without some competition. Next up is Best Buy. So Best Buy is going to give you up to $200 off a brand new iPhone 10. If you're interested in the newest models, so the 10R, the 10S, and the 10S Max, you'll get up to $150 off those. Same deals for the iPad Mini 4 and the latest iPad Pro. You're going to get those for $250. The 21-inch iMac is going to be going for $900. If you're interested in an Apple Watch, that's going to be still 3rd series. That's going to be $50 off for either model. So whether GPS or no GPS, you're going to get $50 off that normal price point for an Apple Watch 3. For anyone wanting a MacBook Pro, you're going to get that for $250 off the price. If you need an Apple HomePod, that is just $250. And for anyone looking to buy App Store and iTunes gift cards, those are going to be $25 off the normal price. So we do have one more store to talk to you guys about. Who can forget about good old Walmart? So if you purchase an iPhone 10R, 10S, or 10S Max, again, the brand new iPhones, you're going to get a $300 gift card with the purchase of those new phones. If you purchase last year's models, the 8, the 8 Plus, or the 10, they're going to give you a $400 gift card to use. And for those of you guys looking to just buy stuff at a discounted rate, the iPhone SE is going for $79, so under $100 to get that SE. The iPhone 6 is just $99. For those of you guys wanting, something a little more recent, the iPhone 6s Plus is $299. And for those of you guys wanting an iPad, the new 6th Gen iPad is $249. So great deals from these three major retailers. Again, most retailers are going to have specials like these, so definitely take a look at these, take a look at the stores that you normally frequent. And again, this is happening next Friday. This is a great time to stock up and save money. For those of you guys who are using Switcher Studio, think about what you're going for in your production before you buy. If you are looking to do, that high quality 4K video, you need the most optimal processing power, look for these newer iPhones, look for getting the 6th Gen iPad, and that's really going to help you out. For those of you guys who are mainly going live to like a 720p quality, definitely look into getting those SEs or the 6s. You're going to be able to stock up on a lot of cameras for a very low cost.
$400 gift card for buying the 8. Yeah. That is ridiculous. They're just trying to get rid of them.
Fun fact. The current price of an iPhone 7 is $350. So if you go buy an 8, an 8 Plus, or a 10 from Walmart, you can take that gift card and buy the 7.
That is awesome.
That's some good advice.
All the cameras that we're using today, well, except for the really wide one, but we're on iPhones.
Those 3 there.
So yeah, the 3 that you have right there in front, those are iPhone 7s. So the quality that you're getting from those is what you would get if you have a 7. So just for comparison. But man, that's crazy. $400. Yeah. It's like they really want to get rid of these phones. They want to get rid of the old stock. Get the new stuff, and also I think some of these start on Thursday, not just Friday.
Yeah,
right?
So these are starting. Most of them start at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and it goes, through Friday. Some stores will keep these deals going through Cyber Monday, which is the very next Monday. Some it will just be Thursday and Friday. So definitely keep an eye on that. If you're going to be going to the store, get a nice meal, bundle up, go out and get all your phones. If you're doing the online shopping, go ahead and get an idea of what you want, and then it's easy just to throw those in the cart.
Yeah, great deals. That is pretty awesome. Well, I'm going to move on to our next topic. We're going to talk to you, give you some information about some new features that are coming to Twitch sometime soon. Not exactly sure when. They recently had TwitchCon, the convention for everything Twitch. And recently announced a couple of features. A couple of weeks ago, we started talking about the introduction of Snap Camera and how it can be used as a direct integration with Twitch. So that was one of the announcements. Among that, there's some other things that I want to talk about today. One of the new things that they're going to have soon is a feature called Squad Stream. So how did they come up with that name?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Who was first? I think we had Stream Squad.
I think we win.
I'm going to be honest. I put that lower third on the screen, and I said, "Oh no, that's backwards." What do we?
Yeah. No, it's not. That's what they're calling it. So with Squad Stream, what you're going to be able to do, it's going to allow up to 4 users to stream together from a single page. So streamers in the squad will all have their streams visible in the player as just smaller panels within the main player, and there'll be one main streamer who is taking up the regular video space. And the idea is that you can select from a group of, or rather you can select from a squad of streamers and watch the video that you want. Videos, basically viewers can cycle through which members they want to watch. I recently looked through Twitch's help to figure out how to set this up and just to kind of do a demo of it. And right now there is not a single help or support article on twitch.com about how to actually go forth with a squad stream. So this is probably something that's currently under limited release, and it's not broadly being shared out just yet as a feature for everyone to use, but it's definitely coming soon. This is revealed recently through an announcement that's something they're going to be doing. So be on the lookout if you're using Twitch for squad stream, especially if you're into gaming with your whole squad of streamers. Another great feature that they come out with if you're anything like me and you just love a good karaoke night, right?
I love good karaoke.
If you are into karaoke, tell us what is your karaoke song in the comments.
Go to karaoke song.
Mine is Miami by Will Smith. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Hey, someone just said they're from South Florida. So.
What's up? There you go, South Florida bringing the heat. Miami. So anyhow, so this is a new feature. It's called Twitch Sings, and right now it's not publicly available. So it's anyone's guess at what this is going to look like exactly. However, if you're interested in finding out what it's going to look like, Dan's going to put a link in the comments right now so that you can sign up for the beta program like I have, so that we can all get notified when Twitch Sings is available. They've teamed up, Twitch that is, has teamed up with Harmonix for this collaboration. They're the people that brought us Rock Band and Dance Central. So it's definitely going to be some high quality music that you're going to be able to integrate with your Twitch streams. I'm very interested to see how this turns out. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll start a Twitch karaoke channel. Maybe that'll be my niche. Maybe I'll finally break in to
the copyright thing is what's interesting to me.
Yeah.
That we're getting to the point where that's now the norm of that stuff's being allowed. I know there's rhythm gamers out there who do that too, and so they can't play for certain songs because they're protected, and Twitch or YouTube doesn't like them.
So they've got the deal with Harmonix to try to make this happen and make it totally legal and everything. So yeah, interesting to see what becomes of that. And yeah, I'm really interested to know what your all's karaoke songs are. Everyone's like, no, we don't do that, Jim.
Don't see any in there so far.
Please stop. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, well, maybe we should move on.
I'm thinking the squat stream is going to be good for newer Twitch streamers, because right now there is the feature where you can do what's called auto hosting, where if you're not live, you can have a friend stream play on your Twitch channel. So anyone who goes to your Twitch channel can see your video, and you can get some more followers that way. But the second the main person goes live, that's what's seen. So this is a good way to, if someone's been streaming to Twitch for a long time, they've got a good following, and someone's just getting started, it's going to be easy to get their channel, that focus and get them more exposure.
I wonder, you might not even have to be playing the same game. Like, it's just, it's kind of outside of whatever game you are specifically doing. So you could just have, hey, you're playing this game, I'm playing this other game. So there's a lot of different cool ways this could potentially be used. So we'll see how it gets used.
Very interesting.
Really cool.
So the last thing we've got for you guys today is about long-form videos on YouTube. So for the past 2 to 3 weeks, we've been going over, some tips and strategies for long-form video versus short-form video. So it's great that, this week this is actually in the news. For those of you guys who've been fans of YouTube for a while, videos are lengthening. In the beginning, 2 to 3 minutes was kind of the sweet spot. If you were a big name YouTuber, you could get away with, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. But videos pretty much had to be short. You were told people have short attention spans. Do not put a long video. No one's going to watch it. And a lot of YouTubers, especially gamers, would actually have to split their gaming videos into like 10-minute chunks just over the course of a week to make sure people watched it.
You still have to confirm something too if you want to upload something longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You have to like verify your account or something like that.
Yeah,
so
you've got to do the verification, and YouTube approves it.
Somebody in the user group was talking about that recently. I couldn't upload, and so yeah, the long form is becoming like this sort of gated thing for a while.
Yeah.
So go on,
So now what's happening is, there's a couple reasons for it. A lot of these videos are going, on average 30, 40 minutes. There's a lot of hour-long streams and uploads. There are even some where, there are 2 to 3 hour streams, weekly, where people have shows that are just that long. And people are watching it. People are tuning in and interacting and loving it. And one reason that is changing is a lot of people are still getting rid of their cable TV services. So in the past, people would sit down and watch cable TV, and YouTube was that side thing they did. They were on a lunch break, or they just had, a couple minutes to kill, and that's why they wanted those short video clips. But now people are using YouTube and other streaming services as their substitute for cable TV. So they're sitting down and wanting to watch TV for an hour, and they're wanting to watch these longer YouTube videos that are going to last for that hour that they have. Also, YouTube's new partnership is also influencing this. So we mentioned you guys at the start of the year when it happened. Now to be a YouTube partner and have AdSense, you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers to your channel, but you also have to maintain 4,000 watch hours or more for each year. So beforehand, if you're only getting 2 to 3 minute videos, it's hard to get 4,000 watch hours over a 12-month span. But if a lot of your videos are 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, it's a lot easier to be able to maintain those watch hours needed to keep your channel up the way it's going. So, definitely I find myself loving the longer form videos. Usually if I have a choice and I'm staying at home, I'll go for a longer video because I know I can sit back, relax, and not have to worry about finding something else 5 minutes later. But definitely if you guys are interested in producing long form videos, after today's broadcast, check out some of our recent episodes from last week and the week before. We do go over those tips on how to make great, engaging, long form videos, and that's going to help you guys out if you want to take advantage of this.
Yeah, and also, if you're into YouTube in the first place, you should definitely be checking out our YouTube. It's at it's at youtube.com/SwitcherStudio. Why not go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel? We've got some cool stuff going up there. I'm trying to put up videos occasionally about different things that are going on. So, hey, while we're talking about YouTube, go check out our YouTube, youtube.com/SwitcherStudio.
We actually recently talked on the show and teased it a little bit, talking about the difference between live and recorded video files from the iPhone 5s all the way to the iPhone XS. Yeah. So that video is, I think, coming out.
It's coming soon.
Coming
very soon. I still need to actually test Angela's phone. She's got the 10R. So I do want to do a comparison between the 10R and the 8. It shouldn't be much different, but I still would like to go through that. So that is coming very soon. That will be on our YouTube channel. So go ahead and subscribe and you'll get notified when that's ready to go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. Some great industry news pieces there. If you have an idea or missed something or something that we missed, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to discuss this on future shows. I know we asked people earlier where they're watching from. I saw all over, South Florida, Aruba. I think that was a new one.
Ooh.
Well, welcome to the show from Aruba.
Columbus, St. Louis, Vegas, Hungary. So all over the place.
Nice.
That's some love to seeing people.
Midwest in the house.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
New Jersey here. Barbara.
What is up, everybody?
So hello, everybody. So yeah, that's our industry news piece. Next thing we always like to do is a little live video strategy. So let's hop right into that.
All right, so yeah, our second segment of our show that we always like to do is a little bit of live video strategy. I'd like to give you some ideas for how to level up your live video, how you can make better videos and go live with them. And that's what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about, really, we wanna know from you the answer to this question. What is on your pre-production checklist? What are the things that you go through before you go live just to make sure that you've got everything squared away? Dan, if you can go to the live or the wide shot, you see we have a little bit of gear here that goes a little bit above what.
I'm gonna adjust that camera so it's not cutting off Angela's.
Okay, nice. But we have a lot of gear here that we use, and that's certainly not vital to everybody's individual needs. But we want to give you a little bit of what we think is important to have on a checklist, and these are just some ideas for things that you should be looking into. So. One of the first things that we think is great to have for live videos is it's a really good idea to start off by making an outline. What do you want your show to be? And within that outline, you should put CTAs. So a CTA stands for a call to action. And the idea here is that what you want to do is ask yourself, what do you want your audience to do when your video is over? When they are done watching your video, what is the thing that you want them to do? And you want to come up with a call to action. So you may have seen before, we always have our outlines right here for what our script is going to be for the day. And in between each segment, we've even got a little chunk that says CTA. I don't know, if you probably can't zoom in that close, Dan, but if you go, it says CTA Dan, and he's going to go in there and say, hey, have you seen anything, articles that are related? Let us know in the comments. So that's one of the actions we wanted you to take was, hey, give us some comments, give us some feedback about what's going on. So that's one of the first things you can do is start off by getting a good outline together and come up with some of those calls to action. Just figure out what you want your audience to do to interact with you.
Yeah, the next thing is make sure you have all of your graphic assets prepared. So, you might already have some saved from a previous production. Take a look and see, who is going to be on the current show. Delete out the ones that aren't needed for the show. That's less hassle for you to kind of dig through while you're live. Also, for anyone who's going to be on the show, if they don't have a lower third or you don't have their logo or something like that, go ahead and upload that graphic as well, so that way you've got it ready to go the second they're on the screen. If you have an intro video or an outro video, make sure that's uploaded. Look through your outline. Do you need any B-roll for what you're discussing? Make sure you've got that B-roll. Make sure, it's playing the way you want it to play. And also, we just mentioned the CTAs, the call to actions. Those work best if they're also, shown graphically on the screen. So sometimes we just have the little bumpers on the screen. Some things we have actual, videos that will play. Like later in the show, we'll show you guys how to join our online user group. There's actually a video that will play as we speak to show you how to join the user group. So things like that are definitely very helpful. Just go through your outline, make sure you've got graphics for everything, and that's going to save you a headache when you're actually live.
Or like this follow us button
Yeah,
that we've got right here.
over my
it's
head.
Like floating right above.
It's
like
back.
we can touch it. Anyhow, yeah, that's a great example of that. Another thing to think about is audio. Do you need an auxiliary audio setup? Like we've got, hello everybody. So we've got microphones that we use to just try to enhance the audio that we're going to offer for our video. So we've got a dedicated setup for that, and over time we've built it into our productions and we've got it organized and set out, but it didn't happen overnight. But one of the things you want to remember about audio is if you're using an external mixer, make sure on your checklist you've got turn the iRig on. Also, check the batteries in your iRig if you're going to be injecting it into an iOS device. Make sure you've got that taken care of in advance. I've got a bunch of rechargeable batteries and a recharger next to my underneath my desk that I charge a bunch of AA's that go into all of our transmitter packs. So I've got those set up. So every week, if I need more batteries, I can just go get those. I've just got them already charged and ready to go every time. Also, checking your levels is a good idea. In Switcher Studio, especially right at the top of the interface, you can see there's an audio meter. If it's always in the red, that means that your levels are too hot. If you've got a microphone, maybe turn those down or move the device away from whatever's making the really loud noise. If it's only ever hitting in the green, that actually means it's a little too quiet. It's going a little lower than you really want. And if it's mostly in the yellow, this is really the sweet spot where you want to be. It just means, hey, be cautious. You might be getting close to clipping, but we're also louder than these quietest sounds. So take a quick look at that before you go live and make sure that your audio level is looking good. And I'll tell you right now, we're right there in the yellow. We're in the sweet spot. And Dan's making sure that that's working. So audio, figure out if you need it or not.
Another thing to definitely take a look at and make sure it's good to go is your lighting. So you can see we've got, two big lights right here. You can see the shades behind us are drawn down. It's cloudy outside today, but regardless of the weather, it's good to be able to control the lighting like that. Lighting's something that can really make or break your production. If you've got this great, awesome, high quality camera, but bad lighting, your production is still not going to look good. In a similar vein, if you have, an older camera or a low quality camera, but your lighting is amazing, you can actually still get a really good quality video with that. So definitely check on the lighting, test out different angles, see how the light's bouncing off the walls, and make sure that your subjects are all lit appropriately. Also, don't shoot where people are backlit. So we choose to sit here because the way the sun comes in on a sunny day, it's not going to backlight us. If you can, try to have some kind of curtain or shade so that way you can adjust as needed for different kinds of days, and that's going to help out as well. And also, as a bonus, if you have any kind of color control or white balance on your cameras, definitely make sure to check those as well. Even with the lighting, you can still get that extra oomph. And especially with people sitting in different areas of the room, you might need to adjust one camera one way and one camera another way, and maybe turn a light in a different direction. So definitely play around with your lighting, see how it looks, and that's going to create a really good looking broadcast.
Another one that I think is often overlooked is we kind of take Wi-Fi for granted, and we assume that we've always, just because I can check my email, that I've got good internet. But it's always a good idea, especially if you're in a different location, to just do a speed test using an application on your device such as speedtest.net. It's by Ookla, I think, is that right? If you just search for speed test in the iOS App Store, you'll find it, and it's a great way of just checking to see what your average upload and download speeds are. What you're aiming for with upload speeds is something kind of on the magnitude of at least like 2 megabits per second or 2,000 kilobits per second would be great. You basically want at least twice the bit rate that you're trying to output at. So without getting into too much detail, you really just want to check your connection and make sure that's there, especially if you're using multiple devices like we are. We always do a test beforehand to see if there's any lag that's happening, and we generally try to make sure that we do a speed test first and see if we're going to have enough upload bandwidth. So before you go live, just make sure you can do that.
Yeah, someone actually, like, I know we're trying not to answer all the support questions here, but someone actually asked what the bandwidth requirements for Switcher are. So the full quality that you can do on Facebook is 720p, 3 megabits per second upload speed, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, you can do that. I think when on the high setting, if you choose that, which is one of our just presets for Facebook, if you choose is it high? It's HD. If you choose HD, yeah, it's 720p, and it's at 2,000 kilobits per second. So it's well within the range of what Facebook limits you to. So that's generally what you're going to need if you want to do HD streaming with Facebook. So keep that in mind. And also, there's a great support article about this too. If you go to support.switcherstudio.com, you can find some answers about some networking issues. But kind of belaboring that point, but networking is something that's important. Just do a quick test and maybe throttle what your output stream is based on what you're finding there.
Yeah. Another thing is to do a test recording before it's actually time for your main production. So even if you've gone through the checklist and everything seems okay, it's still good to do that test recording. You know, just record for a couple seconds, switch between your cameras, make sure everything gets captured on there, and then watch the playback. And this is going to let you actually see how the lighting looks as it's moving from person to person. You're going to be able to hear the audio, even if you're hitting in that yellow range. Sometimes you might watch it back and say, something's a little off, or, oh, there's some construction going on outside that I didn't notice, but it's picking up in there. So, you know, this gives you a chance to make any of those corrections before you're actually live. One thing I like doing, if I have enough time, is to actually send that file to, you know, a computer or to a TV or something where people are going to be watching. Sometimes the colors on one device look different on another, so that's another way to make sure it's playing correctly on a larger screen, especially to make sure your graphics look okay and that they're not pixelating or anything like that. And also, as Jimmy mentioned, a test stream is also a good thing to do as well. If you're going to be streaming to somewhere like Facebook or YouTube where you can set it up to private, where only you can see it, instead of just doing a recording, do, you know, a 5 to 10 second stream. This is going to let you see, is my network holding up, especially as you're switching cameras or putting graphics up. And then you're also going to be able to watch that playback on Facebook or YouTube and make sure it's showing correctly on that platform. So that way you know when it's time to actually start the show and you hit that button that it's going to look the way you want it to look.
One of the last ones that I've got is you've got to make a decision. Are you going to schedule your video in advance, or are you just going to go live spontaneously? If you're using the Switcher Professional plan, you've got the ability now to see any scheduled video streams that you've got through Facebook from any pages that you administrate, or even to your timeline. So you got to decide if you're going to do a scheduled post or if you're just going to go live spontaneously, which is also an option. Really what this comes down to is deciding whether or not you're going to be locked into starting at a specific time. Just like today, we were locked into starting at 2 p.m., but we had a little issue that we had to overcome before we got started. We got through that just fine, but you just have to figure out if you want to have a little bit of leeway and just be able to go live spontaneously, which is totally fine, and your audience might be like, oh, I didn't expect this to happen. So you could go that way or you could schedule it. So these are just two different ways. There are things you want to think about in advance. Am I going to schedule this or am I just going to go live spontaneously?
We've done the pros and cons on past stream squads all the time, so that's another one you can definitely check out.
Indeed.
Yeah. And the last thing I've got for you guys is, you know, after your broadcast is said and done, take a look at what happened and build off of that. So, you know, make sure you're writing down your checklist on what you did. If anything didn't go the way you had planned, make a note of that and write down how, you know, to make that better for the next broadcast. For everything that went great, make sure you continue those steps for the next one and then keep building off of it. What we like to tell people when they're getting started is, don't try to get a Super Bowl level production on your first time through. More than likely, it's not going to happen if it's going to be your first broadcast. Start simple during, the watch parties that we have each week. We go over how to do your first broadcast, simply with one camera and a couple of graphics. Start with something like that. Make a checklist to get to that level of production. And when you're comfortable with that, build on it and say, okay, I'm going to add 2 cameras for next week, or I'm going to add an audio mixer, or I want to change my lighting. And, that way it's less stress on you. There's only 1 or 2 new things to try to pick up for each new production instead of trying to get everything in place for your first time and then running every different way to make sure it's good. So definitely take your base level that you need to get a production that looks good. And remember, you can always keep improving on it. Example, look at the stream squads from a year ago compared to now. We just keep adding stuff to make it better.
Yeah,
like Jimmy.
Jimmy. Oh yeah, I wasn't here a year ago to be on the stream squad, but yeah. Well, so that's been our live video strategy piece. Once again, every week we like to give you something that helps you. We really do want to know what's on your, what's something we left off of this pre-production checklist. What's something that everybody could benefit from? Please let us know in the comments. If you've got something that you do every week that we left out, let us know, and we'll love to share that. And the place we like to share that is a little place called switcherstudio.com/blog, and right there, if you go check it out, you can find all sorts of cool information, tips like these pieces of strategy that can help you do better with video. Also, we've got some case studies of some different people who've had great success using Switcher Studio, and you can see how they're using live video to do what they're doing. So we would really like you to go check that out right there at the blog, and go ahead and subscribe to it. You get a little notification whenever we put up an article every week or so. We've got just something new up there. It just might help you out. You might find it interesting. So please check that out, switcherstudio.com/blog.
That is awesome. Awesome information, guys. Yeah, I know
Thanks, Dan.
We've kind of we've been refining our pre-production checklist for over that entire year, and I kind of like where we're at.
Yeah, we're getting into a groove. We're always changing though. You got to keep changing things around.
Yeah, and it's going to be very interesting in a week or two when we're in a completely new space.
Spoiler alert.
But yeah.
No, but you got to keep changing things. Is what I was saying.
Switching
you got to switch. You got to switch it from one. You got to switch it up. That's really what you got to do. Yeah, you see where I was going with that, right? Okay, great.
I got it too late.
Yeah, got to cheese it up. Got to cheese it up, right? So yeah, we do another segment on our show every week, and what we do here is we switch it up. We just do something different. We like to do product features. Today we're just going to do something kind of random, but
we did the.
We did this last week. Similar.
Was it last week where you talked about the screen sharing?
Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. We talked about.
It was Halloween.
We talked about different ways that you can utilize SwitcherCast, which is the application you can download for Mac. There's also a beta version that's available for PC. But SwitcherCast is just an application that lives on your desktop or your laptop and allows you to share your screen as a source inside of Switcher Studio. But we've also got the ability to share the screen of your iOS device as a source through what's called iOS screen sharing. So today we want to give you some clever ways to use iOS screen sharing that you may or may not have already thought about, or you've been asking the question, how do I do X, Y, Z with Switcher? And a lot of times the answer is iOS screen sharing can handle that for you. So let's talk today about clever ways of using it. Number one, let me just show you how to set this up, and Dan is through the magic of television.
Let's do it, right?
Is going to share. He's going to share his screen into Switcher Studio, and the first thing I wanted to show you how to do is to set it up using how to turn this on. And you need to turn on a feature in your phone called screen recording. So Dan's got it there now. On the side you can see there's Dan's screen. So if Dan, you want to go into your settings, what you do here with through settings, you go to Settings, Control Center, And then you want to use the Customize Controls button. And here are all these different options that you have in your control center. On your iPhone, if you swipe up from the bottom, you'll get the control center. And in iOS 12 now, if you're on an iPad, if you swipe from the upper right corner, you'll get the control center. And these are all of the controls that are available there. So you can see one of these features that you need to turn on for this to work is called screen recording. So Dan's already got screen recording listed right there in that set of different options he's got there. And what you do is when you open up screen recording, he's got it on right now. If you do a long press on screen recording, you have the ability to cast your screen and broadcast it as a source for Switcher Studio. So you can't do it now because he's broadcasting his
but
screen.
it would obviously stop the broadcast.
But you can see it's checked there, Switcher Studio. He's casting his screen into Switcher Studio. So that's how you set it up. So number one, the first clever way of using it is...
Before we get to that, just so people know,
yeah.
even outside of Switcher Studio, like if you just want to record your screen,
yeah, that's a great...
This is how you can do it. So you can just completely just record whatever's happening on your screen.
Yeah, you can tell it just to send it to your photo, to your album or whatever. But the number one clever way of using screen sharing is what we just did. You can demonstrate exactly how to do something on your screen. Maybe it's just a specific application, or maybe it's just something in iOS that you didn't know was there. Like here's how you get to the settings, and here's how you broadcast that. So Dan's got all these different apps on his phone. We're going to try to share as many of them in there as we can while we're going through this. But yeah, number one, just live application demo.
The second one we have here, and this is one I don't have on my phone.
Okay.
Plus, we actually don't have the stuff to do it behind us either. But a lot of people ask about green screening.
Yeah.
And we don't have green screen directly in Switcher Studio, but if you have applications like vScope is I think one of them, and you have a green screen behind you, you can actually key out the green, you can be there, and you have that video that you can just plaster on top of your other video. And
you just share the screen while vScope is doing its thing, and you can bring that in as a source, so that second camera on the other device, the screen of the device, becomes the source. That's pretty awesome. That's a way to do that for sure. Another thing that you could do is you could take a Twitter feed that you've got using the Twitter app on your device, and you could share the Twitter feed in there. Also, aside from a Twitter feed, we could show the comments that are coming through on this video.
Should we do that?
I think our pal Hot Rock Superjoint was maybe one of the first people we could see.
He was watching earlier. I don't know if he's watching.
Shout out to Hot Rock for kind of giving us the inspiration to talk about this today. Dan was like, oh yeah, we could show how you can show the comments on the feed. So Dan can just go to this video while it's playing right now and look at the comments that are currently going through. So while the video is playing, we can have that on the screen as well. I think he'll pull it up here now. You can kind of see right there, there's our comments.
There we go.
There's both of them right there, you can see. So we got the comments on one side over here, and we've got me talking here, so you can see the comments that are going on. So there's just another way. Twitter feeds, comments, those sort of social feeds that are going on, you can bring that in as a screen as well. That's another option.
Speaking of one of those, Victor in here, I don't know if this is on
What's
our
up,
list
Victor?
or not, but he says, can I bring video conference with your product in? Well, yeah, so this is a way you can do it. It works with either iOS screen sharing, or you could do SwitcherCast as well and just do, capture what's happening on that screen and bring it into Switcher. So yeah, that's an easy way to do it.
I think like if you had like the Skype application on your phone, you should be able to cast it in. I think if you're using the FaceTime calling, I believe you can do that. I have not personally tested that. Is that available? Can you do that?
I have not tried it with FaceTime. I know Skype works. Pretty much any video conferencing app will work. FaceTime, it might. I haven't gotten to demo that, but Victor, if you're interested in that, our knowledge base, if you just search Skype, it'll actually give you the step-by-step for doing video conferencing with iOS screen sharing. So that way you'll have the exact process to get started.
Yeah, so I kind of scooted ahead and I did the on-screen comments there for you.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, another one, I'll let you talk about our scoreboard.
Yeah, so another thing that you can do, and we get this often from folks who are doing sporting events and they are trying to find a way of getting the scoreboard. One option is to take one of your camera angles and point it at the scoreboard at the event that you're at. But sometimes it might be a little bit small, maybe a lower quality than you'd really like. Another option that you could do is you could use a scoreboard application on your device, like Dan's got one right here. What's the name of this one, by the way?
I forget. I think it's called Scoreboard.
Scoreboard.
I'll tell you after we do this. This here. Let me.
I don't think I put a picture-in-picture on there. Oh, you got it right there. So yeah, another thing that we can do is you can use the picture-in-picture multi-view effects, and you can have a scoreboard there at the bottom of the screen. So right now, Dan has got a timer on here.
So.
He's just running it. You can.
It is though. Upside down. Let me fix that.
Oh, you got to rotate it around. You have the ability to rotate the screens too whenever you're using iOS screen sharing. That is another thing that you have the ability to take control over.
There we go. Much better.
Now we're in the right universe. So we got to correct it around. So scoreboards are another thing you can use with iOS screen sharing. Just share the screen that's got a scoreboard application running, and it's right there for your viewers to know the score and watch the clock running.
So this one here, now that I've closed out of it, is called Scoreboard.
Oh yeah,
that's just what it's called, Virtual Scoreboard. It's got
Scoreboard.
Virtual Scoreboard.
Yeah, and one of the last ones we want to talk to you about is mobile gaming. If you've got like a full screen iPad game, you could share the screen of the iPad into Switcher Studio as a source, a second iPad, and you could be playing the game with that. I think one of the earliest examples of this was Pokemon Go, going on one side, and then the other video was someone actually walking around, so you could see both the augmented reality portion and you could see in real life where somebody was. So just a couple interesting and clever ways of using iOS screen sharing with Switcher Studio. There are tons of more, there are so many more options and things, and we really get a lot of this inspiration from you all. If you have some ideas about how you've been using it, obviously someone just kind of reminded us that conference calling in, you can use integrations with things like Skype to try to share that. If you've got anything else like that we've missed out on, please let us know in the comments.
Just some way that you are using.
Yeah, if you're doing something we don't know about, we didn't talk about it today, tell us. We want to know how you're using it so we can make it work better for you. So please let us know how you got your iOS screen sharing going.
One of those places that a lot of times we find this information or find these people using these, like vScope. I've seen some cool things. Like I think I saw a comedian who had like the brick wall behind him, and it was done with vScope. So it's just really cool. And we see those in our Switcher Studio enthusiast user group, which is a Facebook group, and Angela has all the information about it.
Sure. So it's, as Dan mentioned, a Facebook online group. It's called Switcher Studio Enthusiasts, where I think we're still under 4,000. I think we're close, but we're still right under the 4,000 mark.
3,900.
Yeah, we're close. You can be the person who helps us get to 4,000. But it's an active Facebook user group. There are all sorts of people in there. So we've got kind of our Switcher Studio veterans who've been using it for years and years and years. We have people that just got started with Switcher Studio. We've got people on their Switcher Studio trial, and there are even some people that just heard about Switcher Studio, want to learn more about it before they even start the trial. So there's really people of all types in there. It's super helpful. A lot of people will share examples of things they've done. They'll share tips and tricks, things like this of, hey, I found a way to do green screen or video conferencing, things like that. So there's really a lot of options to help people out. If anyone has a question, such as, hey, can this product be used with Switcher Studio? A lot of people will jump in and share their experiences with that product and how they got it to work. So it's definitely a great place to be. It's a great resource, and there are 3 ways to actually join. So the first way is just by typing in Switcher Studio Enthusiasts on Facebook. The second way, if you're watching this on our Facebook page right now, go to the menu and select Groups, and that's going to take you directly to the page. And the last option, if you already have a Switcher Studio account with us, log in at switcherstudio.com, and from the home page, there's going to be an option, there it is right there, that says Join the Online Community. So any of those 3 ways work. There's a short survey to fill out that just lets us know more of how we can help you, and then you'll have full access into the group.
Yeah, and also later today, we're going to be hosting a watch party for anybody who's new to Switcher Studio, and it's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're there in the Switcher Studio Enthusiasts, you can watch that watch party. We'll be there live to answer questions. The whole purpose of it is so that you can ask specific questions about Switcher Studio. We will respond directly with how to do that while we're watching, just how to get started with Switcher Studio, with creating an account and all that jazz. So please join us at 4 p.m. if you're not already in the user group. It's a great place. to meet other people who are using Switcher, see how they're making the best of their live videos. And we'll be there at 4 p.m. doing a watch party so that you can get all of your questions answered. So 4 p.m. Switcher Studio enthusiasts.
Yeah, there's quite a few questions in here. We kind of want to keep this a little short and sweet, to about that 45 minutes, hour mark. So there are a lot of questions that I'd love to answer right now live, but those will all that are in the comments here, and those will all be answered in that watch party. So please join that enthusiast group. You can join that watch party today at 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you still have those questions or we don't answer it there, just put it in the comments and we'll be happy to help there.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's time we move on to the last segment of our show. We like to feature a user every week, and we do that during hashtag MADEWITHSWITCHER.
So this week's hashtag MADEWITHSWITCHER is going to take us all the way to Portugal. So I love getting these international videos. So we just mentioned the user group. If you post any kind of videos that were made with Switcher on social media, use the hashtag MADEWITHSWITCHER. We do go through that tag, and it lets us see who's doing what with Switcher Studio, and we like to feature a great example of a video that was hashtag MADEWITHSWITCHER on each week's episode of Stream Squad. So this week we have a video that was shared in the user group by user Tiago Pedro de Carvalho. He actually he does weekly episodes. They're recorded with Switcher Studio and then uploaded to his YouTube channel, and we'll share the link for that as well. But this is a show he does called Cave de Markel. And again, they're weekly episodes. This episode in particular that he shared was about 40 minutes long. So we just talked about long form YouTube video. This is a great example of it. He featured book illustrator Marisa Silva, who was speaking about her career in general and also on, a book she has that is about to be released. I believe it's this weekend that book comes out. So, definitely great to have her on. I love the background. They're in a bookstore, so you've got, that same vein going on where she's talking about books and you've got books in the background. This video was made using an iPad as the main switcher. He is not actually sure what iPad it is. He knows it's not one of the newest ones, but he is using an iPad as the main switcher. For his cameras, he's got 2 iPhone 10s and 1 iPhone 8 Plus that are going through. The 8 Plus is that front center shot, and then the 2 10s are on the sides. So as you guys can see, they've got multiple angles going on. They've got on-screen graphics. They're using an audio mixer for great audio. They've got great lighting. We were just talking about lighting can make or break a video. They definitely have their lighting down to show a great example, especially for, inside a bookstore. It doesn't appear to be a lot of windows going on. So this was definitely a great job. Tiago, when we reached out to him, did send us some pictures, which you're seeing right now, of their setup and how they have the studio laid out. So it's amazing. Like, he did a great job, and he just did a new episode yesterday. So if you guys subscribe to their YouTube channel, you can see all the latest episodes coming up.
This is a great studio setup, and I think what I like about this is these look like they're uploaded after the fact. So this is a great use case of Switcher. You don't just have to use Switcher to go live. You can use it just as a production tool to do a live production, and you don't have to stream it out. But I think the value here is you can do your production all in one take, and then when you're done, you're just done, and there's no more editing to do. And this is a great quality that they were able to pull off with just a couple iOS devices. It's really awesome looking.
Yeah, Tiago, excellent job.
Excellent
Jimmy,
work.
Excellent job answering a question that was in the comments
Oh,
that
yeah?
you didn't know about, asking if Switcher could be used without going live.
Absolutely, you can do that. You just set your option to none instead of Facebook, YouTube, or custom RTMP. So you can say none, and you can set it. We have another. I'm getting too far into the weeds, but we got director mode, which allows you to really dial in the resolution and the frame rates and things like that. So yeah, Switcher Studio is a comprehensive tool that lets you do video. You can go live directly if you want, or you can just record it for later.
Yeah, and you just saw those images and just a little bit of the video clip, and as Angela said, that video that Tiago made is about an hour, is that right?
It's about, I want to say 38 minutes. 38 minutes. So it's a longer video.
If you want to watch that whole thing, it is down there in the comments, so please check it out. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we mentioned people in the user group being helpful. Tiago is one of the more active members in the user group. We see him answering questions all the time, and he is multilingual. So, if you're not, a native English speaker, if you post a different language, there are people in the user group who can help with that as well. So, definitely thanks to Tiago, not only for producing a great video, but for being a great member of the enthusiast group as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to do it for Stream Squad for today. Thanks so much for joining us. Once again, please follow us on Facebook if you're not already, up there in the corner or down, around, everywhere. Please follow us. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you are still with us watching. And once again, come back. We're up Wednesdays at 2 p.m. We're here live at facebook.com/Switcher Studio. We'll see you at 4 p.m. and the Switcher Studio Enthusiast Facebook group from everybody here at Stream Squad.
Yeah, well, first, also, shout out to all those people watching on YouTube. I didn't really realize this at
what's
first,
up?
but
We see you.
Yeah.
We see you.
There's a whole bunch of people who, talking to at support or other place are like,
Thank
hey,
you.
we watch it every week on YouTube. We
Yeah.
can't make it.
Subscribe for me, please. We're trying to get that number
Shout out
up.
to all you people watching after the fact on YouTube.
Appreciate it, everybody. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.